We were almost on time, but we didn't make it. Look, it's Finny. Oh, hello, you. I think he's even better today. Every day, he's a little bit better. I see this. I'm seeing it. I'm feeling it. His ribs feel less bony. Hi, everybody. This shirt's going to get covered. Hey, HB from LBC. Look at my baby. Look at my snuggie bug. I won't be able to control the mouse. You understand for a moment. Hey, Tallulah. Thank you, Kathy Ann and Mods, for being here. Hey, Mandy Albert, Tiffanisms, Castrol, Aspire to Inspire. I am the Walrus. Good to see you. Hey, Rachel. Let's see. Bonnie Bailey made it. Ann made it. Don Davies. Hey, Vicky C. Laker Dog. Hey, Buffy. Tiffany Lane. Anita. Armine. Hey, Shelly Kell. I can't see. There's our Catherine B girl. Hey, Alana. Hey, Trixie. T. Louise. Alicia. Hey, Lady O. Sassy Savage. Diana H. Lindy made it. Oh my God, Renee B. Watching the We Stand Tall and the parody about 5 times. Joy Lee, it becomes an addiction. I told you this. Yorkie Mom, I'm happy to see you, girl. I'm really, really happy to see you. Hey, Heather Landau. That sucks. She's stuck in traffic on a Friday. Let's see. Angie Moe made it. Of course she did. Hey, Lemster, Penny, B123. Penny, I don't know what that means. Oh, I know what that means. I get it now. Care for JC. Hey, Puka Vista. Yes, this shirt will be orange in 5, 4, 3. Hey, Laura DePreet. Tammy, doesn't he look good? Hey, Marie Marion. Donna Marie, don't knock that over, Bo. I have that. See, I have the door open. I have a gate up. Hey, Gypsy. Thank you, Armine. That's very nice. Gemini Girl, Liz Tricks. Vicky C. Laurel 005, Scientology up north. Speaking of Scientology, I'm looking forward to chatting with our girl, Tori. Hey, Wendy Ramirez. Nice. He's clawing at the rug. I like that. Claw away at the rug. Hey, Joel Sachs, Callie Galley, Donna Marie, Miss Mary. Oh, we love you. Hey, other Kathy Ann. Chrissy Twig. Hey, Lumen. Hey, congratulations to your daughter tonight. Huxley graduated 9th grade today. I'm going to have him come in and just have you guys tell him congratulations. I'm really proud of him. I would like to take him out to celebrate. Chrissy Twig. Puka Vista Tori is awesome. Trixie, yes. Congratulations for Lumen. Hey, Lori Lee. Look at my boy. Look at our boy. I'm so proud of him, you guys. I'm really proud of you. He is more perked up. Huxley's going to be a 10th grader. I'm not ready for it. Hey, Robin Miners. Thank you. Yeah, Yorkie Mom. Irish Mart. Trish O made it. Thank you, Tammy. Diana H. Yes. Little Mink. This is kind of early for me, but not entirely. It's kind of right in the middle, actually. Gertie is not, I don't know. She's jealous of anything that I pet, but yeah, she probably doesn't like this. Hey, Rain, and happy birthday. I texted Joe. Happy birthday to Joe Virus today. It's his birthday, guys. Our little Taurus. Hey, Christy Kids, Deanna Downey, Sassy's dad, Conroe. That's interesting. And he would have made a cute Napoleon. Thank you, Wendy Ramirez. Guys, I haven't worn this yet. I got this in black and white. This is that shirt from Target. You guys know how I am about this kind of sleeve. I know, Miss Mary. She can come in. Gertie can be in here. I just figured I'd give it some time, the door open, so they can kind of, I'm worried that Gertie's going to scare him. So as long as he kind of sees her and knows she exists, I thought I'd give that about a week. Thanks, Rain. I knew you would. I thought of you when I put it on. And then maybe Gertie can slowly come in, and then maybe Bo they can be around the cat. The other cats can't. Thank you. I am the Walrus. You know, I love turquoise. I love turquoise. I love turquoise. I might have just said that too many times. Hey, Tony P. Tired Madge. Oh, that sucks. There's no Target in Canada? Alana, why didn't I know this? Anita, welcome. What a day. What an absolute day, right? Deborah Ricci, you know what that's about. What a time to be alive. What a time. Thanks, Lemster. Wow. Abigail. Thank you, Abigail. Yeah, I wish I had this in every freaking color. Like, why did we, it's going to get covered. Why did we only do this in black and white? Like, who was the designer here? Who missed the mark on that? Nothing is more girly. I could have done this in a cream. I would have absolutely taken it in like that cobalt blue. I could have done it in a green. Okay. I definitely would have done it in like a violet color. I don't even care if it's a deep purple, right? I'll go crazy enough, right? Like I'll do all the colors of the rainbow here. Hey, Franklin. Hey, Ree. Linda Garden Lady. Thank you, girl. Wow. A red. Rachel. Why didn't we do this in red? Anybody? Come on. Like, I'm going to have to now write a letter to the designers of Universal Thread and the CEO of Target because I know everybody because I'm such a big deal with my NDAs. You guys know this. Hello, Beyonce. That's going to drive me wild. Yeah, a cobalt, a red, just a simple red. It doesn't have to be, crazy. It doesn't have to be ox blood. Nobody's asking for reaching for the stars here, right? Like just a simple fire engine, if you will, just a simple cherry. Okay. I don't feel like we're reaching here. Okay. I could maybe Kestrel, quite possible. Hey, Martin. Thank you, Lindy. Today is Ree's birthday too. Happy birthday, Ree and Joe Virus. I love this. Yeah. Happy birthday to everybody who has a birthday in case I miss it in the, what are you guys doing? The chat. Hey, Sandy Wandy. You're kidding. That's the cutest story I've ever heard. Wait, what? Wait, what? You had a Target in Canada, but it didn't last? Lemster, I'm loving that picture of you. Lee saying, I had my first date in Rome because of listening to you. It was awesome. Okay. We're going to need to know more about this because I would love to have a first date as well. I don't get to go on dates. I don't get to do anything because I'm constantly punished because of what I do for a living. However, you can tell us about your date and I'm going to need to know more. And if anybody has, a grandpa or a father that they want to pass over to me and say, hey, you should meet my grandpa, I'd be happy to keep him in the Rolodex. I got a short sleeve sweatshirt with puff sleeves. I love it and immediately thought of you. Of course you did. And I love short sleeve sweatshirts, Jana. You know this. Okay. Keep that in mind. When your brother was little, he wrote a letter to Crayola because he was unhappy with his box of crayons. They sent him a bunch of free boxes. That's the cutest thing I've ever heard. Hey, Rhonda McNeil. Megan Roberts. Oh, that sucks. You have COVID. I've had it 4 effing times. It's never any good. Katie Fulton, I love you, girl. Speaking of dating, Katie, I was thinking about the speed dating today. Guys, it's summer. Okay. It's getting to be summer. Like we're going to have to shorten the shorts and the skirts and the dresses. The sleeves are getting shorter. We're going to have to V-neck it. If you're Katie Fulton, spray on our smellies. It's time to get out there and be somebody. You know what I mean? It's time to get out there and find a dude. So let's do this speed dating. We talked about it. You know what? We need to follow through with what we say we're going to do. Oh, I'm sorry, Xenu and the Body Thetans, but I love that. I love that. Hey, Just Jen. Jessamine, I don't know if I said hi to you. Hey, there's Bo Beats. Hey, Bo Beats. Shelly Kelly, my birthday is in 12 days, but I celebrate all month. Okay, well, it's sad that you gave me a super chat for that, but thank you, Shelly Kelly, and happy month birthday, girl, and I love you. I love you. I love you. Penny, great question for Angie Mo. Do we know any more on the June meetup? V-neck it, Katie. V-neck it right now. I could probably V-neck it and just like really try to push them together. Hey, Donna, like really push them together. Yeah, Puka Vista. The first time I got COVID, I started writing my obituary because I thought my time has come, like Fred said, when God pulls your name out of a hat, it's just time to go. And I thought for sure it was my time to go. So I chose the songs that I wanted at my funeral. Hey, Michael Malloy show. And then I bounced back. And then the next 3 times, hey, Mimi, the next 3 times I had COVID, it was like a cold. It wasn't near as bad. But the first time, not only did I think I was dying, I also like totally crapped myself at the same time. It's never good to write your obituary and have mud butt. I believe that 100%. Hey, I like that. I V-necked it in my date. I like that. I like to hear that. I want to know more about it. I would love to go on a date if, again, just throwing that out there. If anyone knows any cool serial killers or like a cool grandpa. Speaking of serial killers, hey, Sassy, look at my boy. Look at my boy. He is so much better today. Did you know? Did you know that you're a little baby orange sherbet swirl? I wouldn't date anyone in this town, says Amy Edge. Well, I know your reasons for that. God, he's so cute. Oh, butterfly vibes. I love that. Oh, I forgot that you went on a date. My date sucked the other night, by the way. Total dick swinger. There's so many dick swingers all across this land. They're everywhere. Why don't they know this? We need to get more men on this channel because honestly, it's a disservice. Okay. Quit being a dick swinger. That's not what we want. Huxley and I were driving the other night when we went out, and some dude drove by us and revved up his bike. Like, I was like, swing that dick, swinging dick. Why? Why do you think that when you drive by a woman with your motorcycle and you do the, do you think that all of a sudden my panty hamster has a heartbeat? It doesn't. As a matter of fact, it does the opposite. She falls over and dies. I'm like, wake up, girl, wake up. It's not the effect they think they have. And I wish they knew that. I'm like, please, I wish that you knew that this isn't what we want. I'm like, you okay, girl? It's Friday. It's loosey goosey. Mary's Gemini mind. Look at my little boy. Look at my little boy. That's my little boy. Oh, you guys, look at this. Look at him. God, he's so cute. Can't stand it. Yeah, it's hey, whine a little bit more. It's so dumb, guys. If you just knew that, like, we prefer humble, Big Z. Let's not get too spicy yet. We don't want to chase people out of here. All right. Charlotte, I'm happy to see you. So speaking of serial killers, okay, what a day. Honestly, what an amazing, amazing day I had. I got to do something today that, Robin Miners, I don't get it. Yeah, rev up your bike. It really makes my ham wallet shudder with fear. Okay. Like she doesn't want to open up her 2 flaps to you at all. Not at all. It could be because I'm about to start my period. I think it's any day. Joe, it actually may happen today on your birthday. And I think that's special and I think it should. Speaking of, because Joe can tell when my period's coming. I agree. Julie Stevenson, he kept laughing when I went on about, I kept laughing when he went, oh, the cellist. No, he sucks. Yes, I did, Abigail. I actually did. Humble, yet confident. It's driving me nuts who that voice you made sounds like. And I realized the Wicked Witch. And your little dog, too. Remember that? Sister Christian had that voice. Hey, Anne Marie. Happy to see you, babe. I used to work in a men's halfway house. Some of these dudes spent 30 years in prison. Give them my number. Come on. Don't hold out on me now, girl. Don't get cheap on me. So speaking of prisoners, this is some crazy shit. I probably just demonetized myself, but you know what? That's the way of the Lord. Hey, Rocks in a Box. Oh, he's so cute. He's a baby. He's just a baby. Guys, my dream came true today. I know, no crims. And they all looked, every one of them just looked like a bunch of my ex-boyfriend walking around. It was like, I felt like he just multiplied and he was everywhere. I was like, oh my God, what is he doing here? How did he drop down in here in Tennessee? Hey, Alva, welcome. All right. So I have to leave parts of this story out because I have to. I can't tell the entire story. I can't entirely tell why I was at a prison. Yeah, no, Bo Beats. What? Oh, interesting. Chris says they have a group of Royal Order of Jesters staying at their hotel. They're a group of Masons. It's a secret cult that they have. And they're all dicks. They're definitely all dicks. Humble, confident, and generally available. Generally available? I don't know if I like the sounds of that. I don't think I'm asking for the world. I respect my guy for it. Works himself like mad. Yeah, I think it's just I don't want generally available though. Like I need you to be all the way available and available to give me all of your time and attention. No, I did not have to be searched today. Well, I did actually have to be searched to go into the prison. That was kind of neat. I can't tell you that, Christy Kitts. However, some strings were pulled. I had to go to a different police station today for other reasons. Guys, you know that I have to deal with the police a lot now. It's kind of sad. And I'm sitting there talking, yeah, holiday. I'm sitting there talking with these police officers in a different jurisdiction. And one of them, we were talking about a serial killer that was actually local to this area. And that's how this all started. And this cop told me, which this cop said that he didn't say specialized, I'm using that word. You're welcome, Chris Beddington. Ew. I had a veteran who was a Shriner. Not that. That's not the ew part. Thank you for his service. I asked him if he knew about the jesters. He said, I sure do, little lady. Gross. Um, yeah, they're gross, Chris Beddington. So this dude, this cop, I don't know what the word is. His background was in, he took a lot of classes when he was in the field with having to do with learning about serial killers specifically. He told me a weird fact, and I was like, I have never heard that before. And I know everything there is to know because I would have walked off into a forest with Ted Bundy. So don't try to tell me, okay, just because you took a class. Hey, Aileen, although he's probably telling the truth, but he said, did you guys know this? Who has heard this fact? A lot of serial killers have webbed hands or toes. Anybody? 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 Who's heard that? Nobody's heard that. Could that be true? And why would that be true? You're just saying that because you have webbed hands or feet, you're like, I don't fit in with the world. I'm going to go be a serial killer. Hey, pepperoni nips. It's awfully strange. Maybe he was just, although he seemed very serious. Somebody needs to go Google this. Wait, I have heard that. Okay, Rain has heard it. I believe Rain. Hey, Grateful. I love your picture. How's Finn? Is he still contagious? He'll always be contagious. No, he cannot be introduced to the other cats, but he did hear his name and he stood up and he's a baby. Yeah, that's the first thing to look for. Katie Fulton, when you go on a date, look for web fingers and toes, girl, because I'm going to, and I'm going to go on a second date once I see it. I'm a risk taker. I am. I mean, how webbed? No one. He didn't give clarification on that. Interesting, Chris Beddington. They have parties every week. So you're obsessed with serial killers. I knew this about Rain. I knew this about her. A lot of serial killers have some Scientology training. Sexy. Damn, Bo. I didn't know that. I'm honored. Look out. I still have a future. He can't, Grateful, he can't, I've got a gate that they can't do anything. He can't get to them. Like duck feet? No, Rachel, I don't think they're like duck feet, but I think they are webbed. Like The guy, just the dude, hey, always late. You made me do a double take on my hands and feet. Well, I will say this. I did the same thing. I was like, oh, I was kind of hoping. Yeah, Charles Manson. He doesn't really have Scientology training. I mean, from what I heard, he read some L. Ron. Hold on, what is that? Where's my phone? Huxley shouldn't be home yet. I think it's a delivery, but hold on, I'm going to check my cameras. Speaking of serial killers, guys, I just want to make sure we're good. You check the front door. Yeah, okay, it's a delivery. Scared the ever-living right out of me. I think it's because we're talking about serial killers. Yeah. Okay. So from what I heard, Manson he didn't actually like become a Scientologist. He read some LRH. Big difference. Like, I don't think he didn't do any training as far as I know. And if he did, it was very minimal. Oh, he's so cute, Donna. Oh, me too, Rachel. Me too. I have cameras all around my house. I have cameras inside my house too now. I'm just that serious about it. It's okay. It's okay. No, Finn is very chill. Oh, interesting. Okay, I believe this. He didn't, but okay, guys. Bo, we get it, man. Thank you for saving our lives. He did study some LRH and he did use some of his tactics. That is believable. I'm sure he did. LRH was a nutball. He's a baby. Do you want me to hold you or do you want to just sit here? His eye actually looks better too. That little. He just lifted his hand at me like this. I've never seen a cat do that. Finn is magical as shit. He is so magical. Thank you so much, Jen Pookie. Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay, so Manson did over 100 hours of auditing. See, I did not know that. Audra, no, I'm not going to take Finn outside. Brian, where's Brian? Is Brian here? Hey, Brian. Joanne, Reese, you always have the cutest tops on. I wish I could get the one you're wearing. I just love it. Thank you, Joanne. I got this recently at Target. It's Universal Thread brand, and thank you for being a member. It comes in black and white. I got both colors. I think it was $17. Weird, Sandy Wandy. Okay, so anyway, I'm dragging this out, but I tend to do that. I'm hot. So there's Brian Boland. There he is. I knew he did auditing, but it was at a Scientology center. Okay. So, he's a baby. So I go to this, hey, Lisa Kelson. So I go to this other police station today, and I'm talking to this cop about serial killers, and I'm talking to the other cop about what's going on and what I'm reporting, right? And I was kind of explaining what I do and why, I have so many people that are crazy. And I said, I have a question, because he was asking me all kinds of questions about what I do and how I do it. And I said, could I ever? No, the door is open, Brian, but I have a gate up so they can't get through. I just like the door open sometimes to let him smell and look at the other animals, and just as long as it's supervised. You do, Yorkie Mom, if they share the same food bowls, if they were to bite each other, scratch each other, fight. But otherwise, no. The vet said it's perfectly okay for them to smell each other through the door or through the gate, but they can't intermingle. Is that a word? Was the cop cute? Several of them were, but they were not my age range, and I'm sure they were married. But hey, Muffet Lou, this is absolutely crazy. I had to leave all of my belongings, and I got to go see a prison. I got to go to, okay, put a 1 in the chat. Now, nobody put the 1 in the chat if you work at a prison. That's different. Put a 1 in the freaking chat if you've actually been able to see this. if you've been able to see a prison. I've seen it on TV, I've seen it in movies, and I could imagine because Tommy was a prisoner and he used to describe it at length, right? But you guys have all been to a prison? You guys have been to this many people have been to a fucking prison. Are you serious? Well, I guess the cheese stands alone. I've been to an abandoned haunted prison too, Trixie. I toured one in Charleston. You dated a prison guard. Sexy. Okay. I feel a lot less cool. I don't even want to tell this story now. Sandy Wandy's been to Alcatraz. Okay, Brian Bolin and I are the only two. Hey, Eric. Forget it. I thought I was cool. Never mind. Jana Hertzberg, Brian Bolin, and I are the only three who've never. Okay, and Lisa Kelson. There's 4 of us, 5 of us with Rachel. Okay, you guys are seasoned and you've gotten around. Fine. Anyway, the story feels a lot less cool, but I'm going to tell it anyway because it got me going in all the right ways, if you know what I mean. Maybe I'm pretty sure it was a prison. They had hundreds of inmates and they had murderers in there. So I'm assuming it was a prison. Hey, Kevin Conklin. Hey, Gloria. Donna hasn't either. Okay. Nor has Trisha Kelly. All right. So there's like a handful of us. Catherine B, I figured you haven't. I don't see Catherine B touring prisons. This was the coolest thing I've ever seen. I'm serious. Okay. I've always imagined what's it like? Amy Edge. Okay. I'm like, what's it like? And I've never wanted to know so much until I was with Tommy because he talked about it all the time. I never even really thought about it. They didn't get to see me, Lisa Kelson, because you're looking through dark glass. And I was looking down. So we went up these stairs. No, I don't think so, Pepperoni Nips. We went up these stairs. Like it was terrifying. I had to go up these like metal, creepy. The second he opened the door for me to go up these stairs, I went, oh, hell no, it's haunted. And he was like, well, that's how you go if you want to tour this. And I said, no, it's haunted. Like, this is some haunted ass shit. You don't even have the lights on. And he was like, he flipped the light on. And I was like, okay, fine, I'll try. So I went up these stairs and oh my God, it was the real deal. It was like a movie. I walked in, you have to go through all these crazy doors and like, you have to be identified. It was wild. So we go up I felt like I was in Face Off with Nicolas Cage. I felt pretty cool. I'm going to tell you right now, I did put my application in to be the warden. Just so you know, when we walked through, I always wanted to know, because I asked Tommy this a lot. I'm like, what does it smell like? I bet it stinks. It smells so bad, but in a good way. I was like, oh my God, I feel like I just walked into somebody's asshole and shut the door behind me. No windows, no doors. Like it was just like I felt like a brown recluse spider, like in its safety zone, like in a warm, wet, gross, like damp, So either way, I felt like I was in an asshole, or I felt like a brown recluse spider, like in a wood pile that, like on a Thursday, and it had just rained, but it was like spring. It was in the air. Sorry, Marie Marion, but this is important to know. So yeah, it is Ryan Bolin. Of course it is. So we go up these. There was a pedophile in there. He pointed one out to me. We go up these stairs. We get through the door and it was like kind of dark in there. And it was like the tower of where you see them all. And this dude was standing there and he had like all this armor on. And I was like, hello, Beach Bum Beagle. I was like, God, I don't know what to pick. Do I want a cop or do I want a crim? Either way, though, I was in heat and they smelled it on me. And I said, hi. And I was like, let me just take these off. Excuse me. I was like, hello. Shaved my ham wallet today, in case you couldn't tell. So I was like, I don't know what to pick. I felt like I was so excited. I was like, I don't know which to pick. And, it made me think of what Jack Nicholson says. Hey, Sherry Taylor, Sassy Savage. it made me, Megan Roberts says, why not both? I say test them out. We just tried out the Crim. Maybe we should try out a cop. So it does make me think of Jack Nicholson in The Departed when he says, you can either be a cop or a criminal. And he says, when you're facing a loaded gun, what's the difference? And I was like, good point, Jack. Good point. Either way, send one my way. So I get up there and it's all dark in there. And this dude like was wearing this armor and shit. He was standing up there and I was like, do most people get turned on by this? Or am I just thirsty? Like, has it just been too long? I was like, do you have any water? I can't say, Raymond. So, I go up there. Yeah, probably cop this time. And I go up there and there is glass windows and they're really dark and you can look down in and all the prisoners. Hey, Linda Perales, it was crazy. All the prisoners are in there through the glass, but you're kind of looking down at them. It was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. I was like, oh my God. I was like, it's the land of Tommy Scovilles. I was like, Tommy was everywhere. Because I asked Buffy, Tommy was everywhere. I feel bad saying his name. Like I want to leave Tommy off my channel, but I was like, holy crap. They all look like him. Everybody, it was just a bunch of Tommies. They were all like lanky. Not true. There were a couple of chubby dudes. Some of them were just doing laps, like just walking. They had, I was Clarice Starling. And I was in the Watchtower. Yes, Jen. It was amazing. And they had them sectioned off. Like there was the first section was the hardened dudes, the hardcore dudes. And there was only 4 of them in there. And he said, that's where we have a child molester and 3 murderers. And I was like trying to hit the glass. I was like, can anybody see me? Can anyone hear me? Can you guys see me? I was like, have I been blocked? I can't say, Buffy. They couldn't. I said, can they see me? And he was like, no. That was amazing. Okay. So then he took me over to the more populated area of, I guess, just bank robbers, for instance. And there was a whole bunch of them in there and they were playing cards. Like a ton of them were playing cards at tables. And then there was another table and they were playing either checkers or chess. They had like a board with the, this stuff, like my ring. I can't, Rachel, but it was crazy, like watching them play cards. And I was like, yeah, Lemster, it was so, I was like, my heart was pounding. I was like, this is the coolest thing. I was like slapping this dude on the shoulder. He was like doing his job, trying to watch these guys. And I was like, this is the craziest shit I've ever seen. And he was like, yeah. And I said, you want to know something crazy? Even crazier than this? Bet you can't even guess, fella. I said, but I'll tell you because it's a Friday. And he was like, please tell me. And I said, I used to date one of these. Not that long ago. And he said, a prisoner? And I said, yeah, the real kind, a convict. That's right. I go hard. Hey, Autumn Clark. I got this at Target. It's Universal Thread brand, and it is recent. You can probably find it still online. Comes in black and or white. And he said, really? And I said, yeah. Federal. That's right. And he was like, did you really? And I said, yeah, no, really. And I said, plus he could lay the pipe. You heard it here first. Big guy. And I said, are any of these like going to be getting out soon? Just, I'm asking for my show, friends, a friend, 2 friends. And he said, no. And I said, well, let me ask you this, because we're here together, right? I hit the lottery. I said, can I visit any of these guys? And he was like, why would you want to do that? And I said, I have my reasons. I don't need to share that with you right in this moment. But I said, may I? And he said, well, you'd have to fill out a form and they'd have to approve it. and, you know, go through this process. And I said, "Hey, Kat." And I said, then what? And he said, then you probably could if you got approved. And I said, I said, can I come in here, like in there? And he said, oh God, no. I said, I can't go in the big room where they all are and visit. He said, no. He said, no, of course you couldn't do that. And I said, what the fuck kind of rules are you running here? I'd like to see this in writing. I said, I don't know why I can't. Why wouldn't I if I get approved? And he said, because you don't even get, he said, if you visit, you get to speak to them on a FaceTime. He said, you don't even get to sit with them. And I said, well, what the shit is the point in this? Who's running this place? Honestly, what kind of joke ass place is this? I was like, I want in there. And I said, I'd like to bring lunches. And he did finally laugh. And he said, you can't bring them food. I said, what about a picnic basket? Just some sandwiches. They don't even get to see the light of day. And he said, absolutely not. He said, no, you can't do that. And I said, this is the stupidest set of rules I've ever heard in my life. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I said, so basically what you're saying is I can't even, I don't know, Lumen. I said, so I can't even, well, hi, as a baby. He's a baby Jesus. Sierra Terry. I want to bring a picnic basket. And he said, this was the most, I said, do you know these guys? And he said, no. And I said, do you ever go in there? He said, yes. I said, do you get scared? He said, yes. Sometimes you'd have to be crazy not to get scared to go in there. And I said, well, let me go with you and we'll bring down their blood pressure. Let me bring in a picnic basket. You go in there and do whatever you're supposed to do. And I said, can I volunteer here? And he was like, no. I think he was getting a little bit annoyed. I would love to do speed dating with the prisoners. Yes. Like, why can't we? I don't understand. I just didn't get it. I don't know. I feel like I felt like I was being picked on, honestly. I think he just made special rules for me. However, he said, I saw one come out of the shower and he was half naked. That was kind of neat. And I just said, so what you're saying is I can't even visit with these dudes. And he said, I don't understand. He was like, why would you want to? And I said, because haven't you ever seen Silence of the Lambs? I was like, have you never talked to a woman? We're pretty obsessed with this kind of shit, dude. I was like, and he said, these guys, he said, I can't say that, Kat. He said, these guys would rip you to shreds. He was like, this wouldn't be, yeah, because I'm aroused. It's a Friday. I haven't had sex in a long time. I don't know, little Lisa. There is a lot of cat hair on it. You just can't see it. Haggis Basher says, I would think it's a safety thing, probably. But he said, these guys would be horrible to you. And I said, you're full of lies. None of this is factual. I said, that's pure lies. I was like, if I wear the right outfit, this would be no different than going to Home Depot. Give me a break. Come on. If I bring some sandwiches in there and I sit down and, well, I can't play cards. I never learned how. Hey, Donald. But, we could, talk about other things maybe. I don't know. I don't know how to play cards or checkers, but I'm confident that there's plenty of conversation, right? I'm confident that there's plenty of conversation that could be had. And I don't think they're going to get violent. Hey, Dawn, I'd put money on that. I would put super chats on that. Yeah, no, Bo Beats, and we can't wait for that. I can't wait to not know about it. Sassy, the inmates, see, this is exactly what I mean. The inmates will teach you how to play cards. I'm sure they could teach me a thing or two. Absolutely. I think they'd probably be incredibly respectful gentlemen. But Barefoot April, it was just such a good time. Be careful, Yorkie Mom. I mean, possibly Lisa Kelson, but I don't think all these guys are going to be violent. They were some hardcore looking dudes. I'll tell you, like one dude, It stunk so bad in there, Shelly. One dude had like you couldn't even see his face. He was just totally tattooed. And I was like, what about that one? And he was like, which one? And I said, the our friend with the artistry, the graffiti. He said that guy has been in trouble his entire hi. He said that guy has been in trouble his entire life. Made me kind of sad on some of these, of course, because they're not really getting reformed. Like it was just absolutely, I don't know, Bo Beats. I couldn't tell because it was too far away. Um Alicia, but honestly, like it was pretty crazy. I just all I could think about was all the stories that Tommy told me because he's doing good, Barefoot April. Him's a baby. Um yeah, Sassy. They would be as kind as a tiger if you went into its cage. I disagree. Really? You think if I went in there and just said like, "Hey guys, I brought you some Subway sandwiches." I mean, I'm sure a handful of them wouldn't be cool. Um, I saw that. Lisa Kelson, you're hilarious. And thank you. I'm going to give it a try later. Thank you, Lisa. I mean it. That's amazing. Um, seriously, though, like taking it all in, what in the world were you doing? Delivering cookies. Yeah, I can't, I have to deal with the police a lot these days. I really do. Lately, it's been weekly. I have to deal with the police. I have to report certain things. I have to document things. Doing what I do, and as much as the hate has gone up, I really, really have to, especially the stuff with Huxley. Speaking of Huxley, he's going to be home in a minute. He graduated ninth grade today. So he's going to pop in and you guys can tell him you're happy for him. Um, I really do have to, I, nothing will probably happen. Okay. I'm not trying to sound more important here than I am. However, I am a single mother. I have to protect me and I have to protect my kid. And I live out in the middle of nowhere. And I get some really weird emails and people make videos, right? People, I also have to send in like screenshots of things that people say on comments. I just want to I want to have my bases covered if something were to happen. Nothing will it's an insurance type of thing. Nothing will probably happen, but I do have to deal with the police a lot lately, and I just report. I document everything. Hey, Katie did it, and I just want them to be aware, like this person said this, if they follow through with it, that kind of a thing, right? So that's what I was doing, and I was able to, this was not at my police department though, this was a different police department, so they let me do a tour. I wish I could have taken my phone, but I had to surrender everything. It was wild. I had to turn everything over. Like they had to check me before I could go anywhere near that. I am the walrus. I think it's YouTubers. I think it's YouTubers. People on YouTube are just sending a lot of hate my way, a lot of threats, and again, people called Huxley's school. Like it's too much. It's become too much. And so anybody who wants to be stupid enough to say stupid things like that, I just report it. I want the police to be aware of it, right? Um, but this really was, he's going to be here any second. So Bo is going to bark. This really was yes, Sassy, thank you. Thank you, Dawn. Hey, Georgia. This really was an eye opener for me. Like, I would love to have a career in this something. And I said that. I said, can I volunteer here? And he was like, no. He said, but you can apply for a job. He said, they're always hiring. I said, really? That would be kind of cool to work. I said, can I bring them their lunches? And he was like, no, no. And I kept trying to get around it. And he kept catching me. And when we were done with the tour, I was coming back down the creepy haunted stairs. And there was a guard pushing a big thing of, it was disgusting, these peanut butter sandwiches in a giant clear tub. And they were just like mashed together. And there's peanut butter all over the tub. And I said, are you going to feed him? And he was like, I am. And I said, can I do it? Can I come? And he said, not a chance. And I was like, really? Wouldn't that be fun? And you should have seen it. It was gross in there. Like they had sandwiches like mashed up on the floor. Do not feed the inmates. Do not feed the inmates. There was a guy, he was like, if you look down through the glass, you could see a guy sleeping on a cot. It was really sad. It was really sad. But I will say, it would, I know. And the guy that gave me the tour, when we passed the dude with the sandwiches, I was like, can I come? He said, not a chance. And the guy that was walking me back, he said, he was like, honey, he was like, what are you thinking wanting to go in there? And he was like, you think you're going to walk in there? He was like, looking the way you look, just thinking you're going to bring in some sandwiches. He was so funny. And I was like, yeah. And he goes, what do you think those fellas are going to do to you, girl? And I said, I would love to sit down with them and have coloring books. And he said, honey, he was like, they would tear you apart in there. And he was like, it would be hell's bells. He was like, it would be a real problem. He was like, we'd have to separate. He was like, it would drive these guys crazy. And I was like, but in a good way. See, in a good way. You're wrong. I think you're wrong. Yeah, Megan Roberts says he's right. I just wanted to take them some sandwiches. I wanted to go undercover. Maybe it would be like a jester party. Maybe I put on a wig and a stash with handlebars, of course, and I could just go in there and, I could be like, how much time you got left? Life? What if they're doing life? What if they were doing life in there? Gross. You realize inmates throw piss and shit on the guards? Well, they're not going to do that to me. Come on. I'm the talent. It's not going to happen. I was like, is there any way that you would let me stream this? And he was like, hell no. He was like, of course you can't be streaming this. And I said, could I just, here comes Hux. Yeah, they would have to sign NDAs because everyone I touched has to sign an NDA. Haggis basher, gross. That's what I said. They'd treat you like Migs. I said to the guy, I go, so we're going to Clarice Starling this? And he said, what? I said, haven't you seen Silence of the Lambs? He was like, oh, yeah. Well, I winked at all of them. Look who it is. It's our little 9th grade graduate. Okay. I winked at all of them. I tried to flirt with the cops too. I was just kind of flirting all over the place, to be honest. But it was quite the time. And I asked him if I could come back at Christmas. I don't know why I said Christmas, but he said yes. I said, really? I'm being serious. I said, can I bring like poinsettias and give them out to all the inmates? And he said, no. I said, what about some candy canes? He said, no. I said, I can come back at Christmas. He said, yes. Look, it's a 9th grade graduate.
Yeah.
Somebody finished 9th grade. Oh, you don't have to do that. Just pick up the cat.
It's all right. You can stay there. I want him to sit down.
Huxley's letting the cat stay in the chair because Huxley's a gentleman. Wow, you smell amazing. Why do you smell like a 35-year-old man that just left the gym?
I have no clue.
You smell like a 35-year-old realtor named Clayton, who's on his 3rd divorce.
Oh, yeah.
Look who it is.
Little Finn.
Finny baby.
I'm good. I smell good.
Damn, son. What are you wearing?
Some Versace I had.
What do you mean? Just you had it laying around? What does that mean?
Yeah, I was laying in my bag.
Versace?
I got it a couple years ago, I think. Back when I was I was always trying to get cologne and stuff. And shoes.
You smell like you're on your 3rd divorce. You have a Tinder profile.
Yeah. Well, I hope I'm not ever on a 3rd divorce one day.
Me too. It does happen, though. It's a slippery slope, son. And it could happen. But I hope it doesn't happen.
If it does, it does.
Well, you can't. You know what? That's up to God.
Yeah. God's word.
Right.
What are you going to do about it?
What are you going to do these days? And it's a time to be alive.
Thank you, everybody.
He finished 9th grade.
Yeah. That was a quick year.
It was a quick year. What are you going to do with your life? Go to 10th grade?
Yeah.
Neat.
I guess so. I guess this keeps on going.
It does keep on going.
9th grade.
Tony's Kuta. It keeps moving. You just keep going through the years until you get to 12.
Mm-hmm. And then I'm gonna be working all summer though, definitely.
You sure are. Abigail, congrats, Huxley, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper and not harm to you, for plans to give you hope in a future. I love that.
Thank you, Abigail.
That's really
Love that.
sweet, babe. Thank you, Abigail.
Thank you, everybody. Trying
That's
to read
really
all the
sweet.
chats.
Do you still want to coach someday? Thank you, Abigail.
I don't know. I don't know what I want to do one day, really.
Huxley looks like he's deadlifting Volkswagens. Wow.
Oh, well, thank you.
Serious.
But,
he takes driver's ed next year, Lumen. So he gets out. Ooh, your claw. Ow.
yeah, he tends to grab
He makes biscuits. That's what he's doing, and that's okay. He will get probably his license or at least his permit. He's not, you are here. He's all about lifting, doing weightlifting. Yeah, he is super solid and he smells amazing. I wish you guys could smell him. Debbie Zito, I don't know what he's going to sign up for next year yet. But you did take it. You signed up for an agriculture. Say hi to your brother.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I signed up for agriculture. It was agri-science class or something like that.
Smart.
Accounting, driver's ed.
Not just anybody signs up for that. That's smart people, Hux.
Mhm.
What kind of vehicle do you want?
Anything that runs.
I like that.
It's been point A to point B.
Well, I like that, Hux. I like that a lot.
It's I'll be young. It doesn't matter. Maybe one day when I have a job and stuff, it'll matter.
Yeah.
I'll have a taste in cars, but I don't really know much about cars. Except for old ones. I used to be really into cars.
Thanks, Bigsy.
But I need to
say hi to your brother.
He was homeless. He needs some attention.
He needs a lot of attention and love.
Yeah, his bones.
Yeah, but I think he's better.
He's
like he feels a little bit more
little bit
hydrated
more
to me. He feels a little bit he won't gain weight that fast, but like he feels hydrated.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it kind of neat that he's blonde? He doesn't have like swirls like some orange cats. He's
like Seamus.
Yeah.
He's blonde. And he's 6 or 5 or whatever.
5 to 8, they said. Okay. My daughter is exactly your age, and I'm terrified of her. Aww.
He feels safe, you can tell.
Tell us about your workout routine.
I mean, not too complicated. I watch a lot of like I don't know, a lot of guys from like the 80s and 90s and stuff. A lot of bodybuilders and stuff. Right,
but what's your routine, son? Like leg day, arms day? What's your favorite vintage car? That's cool.
I don't know.
Buffy, it does. Hey, Kaz, but what's your workout routine?
Well, for example, like for back will be like backs, you don't really need a lot. We don't really need a lot for them to stimulate growth, and it'll just grow. But for back, I'll do like 2 sets till failure on like T-bar rows or bent over rows. And then the work traps is shrugs.
Love you, Lemster.
Shrugs a little bit at an
hey, Paula.
Angle. Definitely to failure or 2 drop sets till failure. I was doing 3 sets till failure, but I feel like that's a little bit overkill. I was doing that for a while. I feel like you could stimulate more growth. The muscle will be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna grow more if it's 2 sets or something. Or that'll be more. It's better for the muscle.
Good question. There we go. Thank you for that, Linda. I don't even know what failure means.
To where you can't do anymore.
Bye, I am the walrus. Okay.
So the muscle can't. So it's screaming. Can't do anymore.
Really? You want to push to that point?
Mm-hmm. You either love it or you don't. I guess.
Push to failure for more growth, recovery time. What's your recovery time?
For days, I'll do like, I don't know. I guess
Dawn, that's amazing.
I'll wait like 2 or 3 days for each muscle. I don't think failure stimulates more growth than just reps. It's that mental, like it makes you feel a little bit more satisfied with yourself. For me, anyways. Like it makes you feel better leaving than like, oh, I couldn't do anymore. Like I gave it my all. sort of thing.
See, I don't know anything about this. Alicia says, yes, you always push to failure. Never heard
You
of
don't
it.
have to. You can do like reps. A lot of people do like reps, but failure is this. But yeah, failure's good, but you'll still stimulate growth if you don't.
Thanks, Kevin Conklin. Guys,
It's
this
more
was really
painful.
nice of you. There's your brother.
Coming to see me again.
Huxley loves cats.
But there's always like for example, arms. Like triceps have 3 heads of the tricep. You got to build. Like the biceps have 3 heads. You have like the long head for the peak, and then short head for your width of the bicep, and then the brachialis on the side for more width.
Well, I'm sure that he's doing it all right.
This is fun. This is something I like to do. I don't know.
I know, and I know that you love it, Hux. I just dead weight or machine assist. That's amazing, Don.
Dead weight, a little bit machine. Whenever I go to the gym, I only go to the place with equipment to hit legs because I don't need to. I have equipment here.
Tammy, thank you for becoming a member, babe. That was very kind. Thank you.
Thank you.
For building, you push it. For toning, you lower weight, more reps.
Yeah, for if you're like cutting or if you're gaining muscle, yeah, you're gonna do more high volume stuff. But if you're cutting, it's just losing.
Any see, he's always late. He's worked with me on this. Kettlebells? You use kettlebells? You don't, do you?
No, I don't, but they're great.
Any suggestions for old lady bat wings?
He's chewing on my finger.
Oh.
But
like for working out your arms.
Yeah, oh yeah, for arms. I would say the straight bicep curls.
Pet your brother.
Just normal bicep curls, or doing preacher curls. And you can't forget about triceps.
Is there a trainer at your new school?
I have no
clue. You wouldn't know. We wouldn't
Probably.
know. Are you taking a workout class?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to. Yeah, resistance bands, simple stuff. It's not it's people try to make it complicated online, make more money off it, but
oh, that's smart. I need to get some of those.
Dumbbells. It depends on what you're doing it for. If you're doing it to stay fit, you can just get some light dumbbells and just do.
Do you have a favorite curl?
Yeah.
Me too, Wendy Ramirez.
Yeah, probably the spider curl.
Spider curl,
which makes them wider.
Lumen, I want to get some resistance bands. Does that help, Hux?
Nene has some, I think, but she doesn't.
Oh.
Use. I can go. Up there and get them.
Thank you, Holly Day. I know that you sent me an email. It's just I bought it last at Costco because it's just not quite that expensive there. But I will take a look, Holly, and thank you. You know your stuff, Hux. I was once a certified personal trainer. Trainer certification now null by now. But I love he knows the intricacy of those smaller, often overlooked muscles. Good. I'm glad to hear that, Katie, because I don't know. What's the muscle in the back upper arm?
So tricep, probably.
You're okay, Bo.
I guess it's tricep overall. Yeah, just tricep. No specific part of the tricep.
Bo, I cannot let you in here yet. It'll scare your new brother. The tricep.
Mm-hmm. Triceps take up most of your arm.
Look at how cute he is.
He's adorable. I love him.
Isn't he so happy?
Yeah, we saved him. He's close to death, probably. He was kind of on the verge.
I mean, the vet said to put him down. That's how close to death he was. She said to put him down. Resistance bands, 100% for legs, or you cannot a TheraBand. Lats.
Yeah, your back. I don't really know much about them because I don't use them, but if I did use them, I would know. But
do squats for your butt.
Shoulders, delts. Squats for your butt.
To get rid of bat wings, you lift like you are lifting shopping bags. After about a year, you will notice a big change. A year? That sucks.
A year will fly by. Lifting all the
True,
time.
Hux. It's going to go by either way. You're right.
Probably
yeah, Shelly, he does. A lot, actually.
But yeah, lats, lat pull downs or some bands will definitely get you. Rows. Arnold Schwarzenegger did a lot of
Thank you, Yadira. She says,
Yeah,
we love
he's
you,
huge.
Huxley.
Love you guys too.
He finished ninth grade.
Love
That
you
was
too, Yadira.
Yadira said that. We love Yadira. Guys, you don't have to stay, Hux. I just wanted to congratulate you, and I wanted everybody to tell you congrats.
Yeah.
He finished the ninth grade. I'm really proud of Huxley.
I don't know a lot. This is stuff I know.
Lateral muscles across the back above the deltoids. I've never even heard the word deltoid.
Just your shoulder.
I'm so glad that we flea treated him. I bet he feels so much better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fleas, that suck.
Thanks, Anna Banana. Thanks, guys. The vet said that because she didn't want you to waste your money rehabbing him only to discover he is dying anyway. That is the reason she said euthanize, not because he was so close to death. Probably. Yeah, that's probably true. And being feline leukemia positive, I'm sure, she didn't want me to. I mean, it was already not cheap to go get him checked and tested and dewormed and all of that. But I don't care. I want him to make it. And I think he deserves a chance. And I think he's showing us for sure. I am. Thank you, Wendy Ramirez. Yeah, we're really proud of you. Everybody's really proud of you, son.
Thank you.
Yeah. Ninth grade.
Yeah.
Have you heard from your dad?
No, I haven't yet.
Okay. Maybe you should send him a text.
Yeah, maybe I'll call him later or something.
Okay. So is no one says I was in the Sea Org just after ninth grade. I only made it to ninth grade.
Oh, that's right.
I finished ninth grade and then I was pulled out and put on the Church of Scientology staff. Do you have a climbing place near you? My daughter just started and her back muscles are popping.
What'd you say?
Do you have a climbing place near you?
I don't know. I've heard climbing's really good for.
I bet it is. Climbing and I would guess swimming are both really good for your muscles. I would guess.
Both build a lot of muscle. It's all about definitely diet too. You have diet, right?
Yeah, and Huxley does count his protein and all of that.
Yeah, calories, carbs.
Does he see? Here's the thing, Trisha Kelly. Does he definitely have leukemia? Can he survive? So, does Huxley love Finn?
Oh, that's not even a question.
Yeah, Huxley loves cats.
Yeah,
he's a cat person. Here's the thing. Kestrel told us he did test positive for feline leukemia, but Kestrel said if a cat is super underweight and emaciated, there's a chance that you can, and even not even being underweight, some cats will have a false positive. So what I'm going to do is in 6 weeks, I'm going to take him back for another exam, have her retest him, have her reweigh him to see if he gained any weight. And then we will go from there. And I'm also going to have my other 3 cats tested just because I think it's important to do that, because 2 of them go outside. And for all I know, they are positive. When I had them neutered, they were negative. But now that they're outside cats, I don't know. Do you have workout friends?
Yeah, whenever I go get legs, my friends are always there usually. They're playing basketball or.
Tampa A, nice picture. I am a fitness professional and you are doing great, Huxley. The basics are what works. Dumbbells. Hey, Peggy Collins. Yeah. That's good to know. See, I don't know anything about this stuff, Tampa A. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, I got some gym bros that I go with.
Nice. He might actually genuinely have feline leukemia, but until he is healthier, we can't be sure. Plus, the virus is not a death sentence. No, it's not. Hey, Elena Rainerman.
Yeah, look how cute he is. He's so happy to be here.
And he's cleaner. He's cleaned himself. He's bathing himself.
Yeah, he
feels safe.
Yeah, he had a mom for sure when he was little. Seamus, unfortunately, didn't.
Seamus, we don't think had a mom because he doesn't know how to use the litter box right. Moose has to bury his poop and pee for him. And then he doesn't ever bathe himself, ever. Like he doesn't know how to clean himself. I don't know.
It's not his fault. He didn't have a mom.
Have you ever thought, that's a great question. Yeah. Have you ever thought of becoming a physical therapist?
Yeah, I have.
That's a great career, Huxley. Career. That's a really good career. Yeah. Hey, Iwa, it's not a death sentence, guys. Feline leukemia, some cats can live a very long time with it. And some cats don't ever have episodes even with it, is what my vet told me. So, hey, Stacy and Fisher. So I'm not like, That's what I mean. That's why I didn't put him down on Monday, because I was like, no, I'm not putting him down. There's nothing wrong with him. We just need to fatten him up and see how he does. Now, he does have really bad teeth. He has gingivitis and broken teeth. So at some point down the line, I may have to have him. Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. Always late. Have him have a dental done.
Oh,
Where-
dental.
Yeah, where you have his teeth probably pulled or something, but they clean them
I was
and they
gonna
pull the
say what you
ones.
said.
They pull the ones that need to be pulled. But he's doing. I
No,
haven't.
he doesn't need to be put down. Though.
No.
I don't know why the doctor said that.
I think he. It's like watering a flower. He just needed some water. He was wilted.
Yeah, he's regrowing.
I think he feels much better though, with all those ticks off of him, and they dewormed him too.
Air conditioning. Summer. It's. Well, I don't know if it's.
He doesn't.
Spring, but
He doesn't have all those dogs chasing him.
yeah, and it was hot out, and he has all this hair.
What's expensive, Don? Taking care of a cat, taking care of his teeth. I would see Hux as a sports
I
psychologist.
just saw
That's really cool, Sabine.
Maybe I will. I'm gonna do something. Definitely, I'm gonna.
He probably
do the
needs
GPA.
a lot of extractions, but I'm seeing zero signs he is terminal. Same, Kestrel. I think a couple people said that. Like, that is not a cat that's dying. Not at all. We got him checked out on Monday, guys. It's Friday. Yeah, teeth pulling. I'm sure it is. Well, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, Dawn. I mean, hopefully it's not. I know for Gertie, like her dental, I think is like $250. So it's not thousands of dollars. We had his exam on Monday. It's Friday. Yes, Sassy. And look at him. He's improved already. He's just laying in this chair, just cleaning
Bathing
himself.
He's gonna get his health up.
I really
Not be
believe
so
he just,
willful.
hey, squirrel girl, he really needed some.
He's cute though.
Yeah, it is. Rhonda McNeil. I love physical therapists. I worked with him a lot in the senior living field. You're
Yeah.
right, Huxley. Diet is the most important part of fitness. I've regularly exercised since October and my weight never changed. I've been calorie counting for 3 weeks. I've lost 7 pounds. Good for you, Kaz. That's awesome.
Yeah, believe it or not, your body has like a certain maintenance you have to fulfill every day based on your weight. I don't think age matters, but for your weight, I mean, as long as you eat below that maintenance every day, you can eat whatever you want, but as long as it's below that and you're trying to lose weight, it'll go down.
Damn, Kestrel, I did not know cat. So Dawn is not kidding around. My
It's
cat's
slow.
dental was $2,500 with extractions. Why would that be the case when Gertie has had dentals that were $250 and they extract if they need to? Why would a cat dental be that much money? That's wild.
But if and then just do like if you walk or walk your dogs maybe or do some cardio. Over time, you'll lose weight. It just takes a while.
You guys were right then. I did not know. Oh, you live on the West Coast. Okay. I'm sure being out in the middle of the country, it's probably a little bit cheaper here, but I had no idea it was thousands of dollars. My last dental was $2,500. I don't know why. Gertie has had dentals in Kansas City. It was like $250. Might have been with tax or something around $300. Okay, that's insane. But Ray, you're in San Francisco. Well, who is this? Law OFC Michael Chambers LLC wanted to say, hey, us girls have been listening in the office for over a month. We heard your son and we all ran to the iPad to find the cutest young man. Good job, Reese. Oh my God, thank you.
Thank you.
And hey, gals at the law office, and welcome in. That's so cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
A spay for your kitten was $800. Okay, then this is apples and oranges. My vet charges $60 to spay or neuter an animal, a cat, because that's what I paid for the last 2 cats, Moose and Seamus. So I think it's totally based on where you live. Alicia, yeah, good luck, babe. I feel the same way. Yeah, I've never heard of such a thing, Jana. That's crazy. No, I paid less than $100. So I don't know, guys. Maybe it's all based on where you live.
I guess I'll head on out.
Okay. Hey, Just Julia.
It's good to see everybody. in the chat.
Yeah. Congratulations on completing 9th grade, Hux.
Thank you. Thank you guys for being here. I love all of you. So,
That's really sweet, babe.
well, yes, I'll see y'all next time. Along.
Okay, I'll be off pretty soon. Thank you for putting that back. Okay, yeah. Penny says, can you turn up the air conditioner up a notch? Not down, but up. I had cat extractions here. Thanks, Hux. You don't have to shut that door. Just, okay. Because I want to make sure the dogs can see in. So push the door open a little because it makes Bo sad. Thank you, son. I had cat extractions here in Tennessee. That was $250. Yeah, thanks, guys. That was really sweet of you all to congratulate him. That was very kind. Hey, Christine Baker. Thanks, Janet. I was gonna say, I think it's location. I think it's, hey, Cliff Ann. Yeah, this is what I mean. Okay. Hey, PRF. Vet bills here in LA are crazy expensive. I'm sure California. Thank you, Anne. Thanks, Martin. Yeah, he's amazing. Huxley's amazing. I'm really proud of him, guys. I'm really proud of him completing 9th grade. And thank you, Jackie C4. I'm just really impressed. He's done a good job. And pretty soon he's going to be an adult, and that's going to be sad. That'll be very hard for me, but I'm proud of him. In Rhode Island. Okay, yeah, I would guess Rhode Island would be expensive. Buffy, that's crazy. But again, you're in Washington. I guess it's probably is location, I would guess. Hey, Pat Jonas. So anyway, I wasn't going to stay on too much longer, but I thought that was absolutely, thank you, no one. Yes, Galen, he does. Thank you, Martin. Thank you. That's a lot, even there, Megan Roberts. Although I will say, Kansas City seemed to cost more. Whenever I took Bo for his yearly shots, just his yearly shots, okay, just like a yearly exam and shots. Thanks, Rhonda McNeil. And then now this is included, I would get a year's supply of his heartworm medication. They're like these weird little bars that he eats once a month, but I can't remember what they're called. I see the box, but I can't think of what they're called. All of that was like $500 for the exam and a year's supply of heartworm medication. He had to have every single immunization you could have because he would get boarded. So, I mean, yeah, that's a lot. That was a lot. Thank you, Diana H. Thank you. It is cheaper here, though. It seems to be cheaper when you go to like a vet out in the middle of nowhere. There's a lot of vets that are country vets, right? Like big animal vets in this area. And I think they're cheaper, I think. Yeah, Castrol. So I wanted to share that story with you guys. I'm glad we told him congratulations again. That meant a lot to me. Thank you for doing that. Absolutely wild visiting a prison today. I feel bad bringing up Tommy's name. I don't want to talk about Tommy. I don't want to think about Tommy, but it's absolutely, Trisha Kelly, we don't. It's absolutely crazy to me. Hey, Mama Bear. Hey, Lacey Silver. That I got to see in actual prison today, and I got to really get a feel for it and experience it. It was wild, guys. It was really wild. Yeah, Lori Lee, treating heartworm is extremely expensive. Just going up in that tower and looking down and seeing all those guys. I mean, it was wild. It was fun to flirt and like laugh about it. But at the same time, it was incredibly sad. It was incredibly sad looking at something like that and seeing that they're not, hey, Mona, they're not really improving, right? Like they're probably, I mean, they're just playing cards and stuff. Like it's sad to me. I always think about how much therapy has helped me. Thank you, Linda Garden Lady. I just wish there was more room for like mental wellness in this country. I really do. And maybe some people can't be helped. No, Alicia, I did not. Maybe some people can't be helped, but I think it would be really neat to have a job where you go and try to counsel these people, work with them, like rehab them in some way. And maybe there is a program for that. I could be totally wrong. But just watching some of them, I said to the guard, Kelly Hicks, that's amazing. Rachel Sandy, some of those men will never leave that place. They said that. And I asked the guard, I said, what are they doing? And he said, they're just doing laps. They were just walking laps in circles. And I was like, it looked like, I said this to the guard. He said, some people have been here for over 10 years. And I said, why would you break the law? Like, what led you to just going? Honestly, it's a shock to the system. I think it's actually really important to go tour a prison or a jail or whatever, because it puts things, not for me, I don't break the law, but it puts things into perspective and it puts your ass in check to not want to break the law. And so I said that to the guy. I said, why would anybody break the law this badly? And he looked up like I did. And he went, why? He said, I don't know. Why? Interesting, Abigail. It was just sad. It starts with a broken home. Not always, but mostly. I mean, yeah, it's not like they're making conscious decisions, right? Like, I get that these guys, probably men and women both, get to a point where they probably felt like they didn't have a choice. Kelly, I wasn't going to name it. But it was still like, I'm sorry. I don't want to keep saying Tommy's name, but just Tommy is my only, hey, old Charlie, Tommy is my only, what am I trying to say? Link to even thinking about stuff like that. He told all those stories about prison, and you can imagine it in your mind. Hey, Angel K, and you can watch stuff like on TV shows, but actually seeing it today, I was like, this is so sad. Yeah, my only point of reference. Thank you guys. Twin Mom 32. You need to visit Bayville, California. I took care of Edmund Kemper at the medical prison here. He's old and fat and needs help going to the toilet. Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. And he's, more importantly than him being old and fat, isn't he like 7 feet tall? I've always been fascinated by Ed Kemper. I'm sad about Ed Kemper. Ed Kemper makes me sad. A lot of these guys make me sad. Yeah. I know who Ed Kemper is. I'm very fascinated by Ed Kemper. Yes. And thank you for your super chat, Twin Mom. It's like a pound for animals or zoo, just pacing. They get institutionalized later and can't adjust to the freedom after a long time. No real rehab. Yeah. Serial rapists. Yeah. Hey, Trixie, Twin Mom, can you tour a place like that? Can you get into a place like a high maximum security place? I bet, Sabine. I was a prison nurse and I have a ton of good stories. I bet it's amazing. Could I work at a place like that? Can I? I mean, he told me today, he goes, we're always hiring. You can apply for a job. Oh man, Twin Mom, that's crazy. That's amazing. Amy Kimbrell says, my husband spent almost a year in jail when he was in his 20s and said it was the best thing that could have happened to him at the time. It gave him a wake-up call to change his life. I'm sure. Wendy says, no, you cannot. Hey, Heather Rhodes. I was the inmate job coordinator. I got to tell all the inmates what to do. You're too sweet to work there, Reese. I would love to work at a place like that. I would really, truly love it. I would love to. Yeah, Shelly's right here. This is why I would never work at an animal shelter. This is why I would never want to work at a veterinary clinic. You would not like working there. It's incredibly sad and you can't help them all. I would want to help them all. Hey, Audrey. And he showed me a guy on Suicide Watch today. And I remember Tommy talking about that. Yes. It is very sad. I visited one for months. Every Sunday visitation was in a cafeteria with all the prisoners. So sad there. So sad. They do their best to socialize. It's very sad. Hey, Nacho's mom. Oh, Mona, no question. He's 6'9" I thought he was around 7 feet tall. Yeah, Alicia, yeah, it would break my heart. I'm sure. I'm sure. Even the stuff, the sad stories that Tommy would tell was very heart crushing. It would make me very sad. It would make me very sad. And I would want to try to help him. And the other problem is, I hate to say this because I don't like to assume things about people, especially you don't even know. It is a draining job, I'm sure. Can't be more draining than some jobs I can imagine. Um, Hey, Barbara Waite, I bet a lot of them will lie to you. I hate to say that because I hate to speak for people in groups like that, but I have a feeling like you would probably want to try to, yeah, the smell was so bad. You would probably want to try to trust and believe once you start working and like trying to rehab them. I can't imagine, like, my heart would get involved in it and I would believe them. And they probably, a lot of them are good at manipulating and lying and telling you what you want to hear. I'm sure not all, but I'm sure some of them like would take advantage. Autumn Clark, I had to be there for a specific reason. L Cat Jamie too. Interesting, twin mom. Holy crap. Oh, I'm sure he is enormous. Ed Kemper, 6'9". He's got to be enormous. I'm pretty gullible and naive too. It sucks your soul. Dude got stabbed 28 times in front of me and was like, damn, clear the code. It's time for lunch. Wow. Yeah, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. But I will tell you, I am very grateful that I got to witness it today. Um, I would like to work at a place like that. I really would. I don't know what my job would be. I mean, I wouldn't, of course, I mean, like I said, today I applied to be warden. So I'm waiting to hear back. Hopefully I'll hear something next week. I just said if there's an availability or an opening for like, top executive director, warden, whatever you call them these days. But yeah, I definitely was seeing about it. Hey, Kiki, you get conned all the time. It's horrible when you realize that you just wasted all that time with someone who has no interest in changing. Your outlook on such society changes. This is why I wouldn't want to do it. This is why I wouldn't want to do it, because I would try to put a lot of effort into somebody and it would piss me off to get totally duped. That would suck. You are safer there than you are at Walmart. I was offered a job at a prison, but I did not feel safe there at all. Please do not expose yourself to daily trauma like that. I'm sure it's sad. Yeah, but I would want to interact with the prisoners, Shell. If I was going to work at a prison, I would want to interact with the prisoners. And I wouldn't want to work with the females. Hey, Liz, I would want to work with the men. Just because. Yeah. Love you, no one. I don't know. It was really I don't know what the word is. It was very interesting and it really put things into perspective. I absolutely was like, why would anybody break the law after seeing what I saw today? Yeah. After seeing what I saw today, I was like, why would anybody do this? Why would anyone want to? It was super sad, super depressing. And it really, again, I hate this. I'm sorry, but like all I could imagine, they all looked like Tommy, first of all. And all I could imagine was Tommy in there. I was like, this is what he did all day. This is wild. Tommy isn't totally right about the suicide watch. Eastern could have had killed himself. I don't know what that means. No, not at this one, Mona. Yeah, I would imagine people who work in prisons tend to have a hard time balancing their lives and work life because people don't consider a future opportunity. Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah, I could see that. Who, what, where now? My mom is a prison nurse. Most of the inmates are respectful toward her, except when they put in false sick slips to get out of the yard. Yeah, all I could think about was, yeah, that's right, Shelly. Tommy said that. I remember that. Yeah, twin mom, you cannot wear makeup or wear scented anything. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to work there because, like she just said, you're not allowed to be friendly. I would be friendly. And I don't mean flirty. I mean, I would be very respectful. I would be very bubbly and nice, and I'd want to make conversation with them. And I'm sure that's very much not allowed. But it is to me like the homeless animal situation. Like, I think it's sad and I would want to give them a chance to try to better themselves. But I think honestly, I am incredibly naive in this world. And I was speaking with the police about that today, just what I do for a living. And yeah, twin mom, I believe that. The cops just said to me today, they were like, same thing, the cop at my other, that's close to my police department cop. Um, Thanks, Dr. MLS. Um, the cop that's in this jurisdiction that I talked to a week ago that I had to report some stuff to, he said, you really have a lot of hate. And he was like, you really need to pay attention to your surroundings when you're out. And he was like, you need to watch yourself. He's seen the entire file of documentation I've given him. And he was like, you really need to pay attention to your surroundings after everything I've seen that you've given me. And I said, yeah, I know. I understand. That's gross, Wendy. Yeah, I probably wouldn't want to do it. I wouldn't want to do it. But anyway, the point is, it was really a privilege to see it today. And all I could imagine, I was like, this is what Tommy did for 13 years. Like, I'm guessing it's similar to wherever he was, like just sitting there playing cards. I was just watching like this big table of men and they were like laughing and throwing cards. And yeah, it's sad. That's true. Oh, they are all experts at conning workers. I'm sure they are. I'm sure they're very much con artists. The prisons are a business, not really a rehabilitation center. I'm sure that's true, Shelley. But it was sad to me um, imagining him in there and just looking at all these men in there. You are not naive. There's things in this world you haven't experienced, and most of us haven't either. Yeah, Alicia, I think so, but I do tend to believe people. Can they be rehabilitated or is that all manipulation? I don't think it's probably all or nothing. I think some of them probably could be, but I bet a lot of them can't be rehabilitated. Probably not. Yeah, me too, Rachel. Good for you, Kiki. I'm proud of your work too. Dr. MLS, thank you again. Appreciate it. No one, yeah. I mean, I don't know, guys. It just made me sad. It put a little sad spot in my heart. Not I'm not talking about Tommy. I just meant for these guys, like just um watching their behavior, their body language, watching some of them sleep, watching some of them walk in circles. Like it was like animals. It was like what that's why I don't go to the zoo because you just watch the polar bears go back and forth going crazy, just pacing. It was really sad. It was really sad. The motivated ones don't come back to prison. That's probably true. Yeah, Kiki, I don't support them and I don't go. Many of them are master manipulators. Some can be rehabilitated. My son became a meth addict and ended up incarcerated off and on for 10 years. Wow. He's been on the straight and narrow for 7 years now. I pray he perseveres. Good for him. That's amazing, Barbara. I hope he does too. Hey, Donna Cooper. Anyway, guys, I wanted to share that with you today. And Alicia, I actually appreciate you saying that because for the people who are in here going, you're crazy. I agree with this. I'd probably fall in love 10 times a day. Places like that are no good for me because you want to help people. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with our hearts. It's just we probably are not good candidates to be in a place like that. You know, we do probably take people at their word and take things at face value. And for those reasons, we're probably not a candidate for that. Interesting, Alana. Alana, you would do really well. You would do really well, I'm sure. Yeah, we can always pray for them and remember them. And guys, that's kind of where I'm getting at. Like, as funny as it was, and I was joking with the cops, and it was such a pleasure and an honor, and I was grateful to be able to see what I saw today. It was very sad at the same time. Oh God, PRF, I would never support SeaWorld. No, or circuses or anything like that. But it was the first time I saw that, and like I said, we've all seen stuff on shows, we've all seen stuff in movies. Um, yeah, and Shelly, that's the point. Yeah, Jackie C4, I fell in love too easily. I do too. It's not that I think you're crazy at all. You have a big heart. Just know those dudes are very broken. Yes. Yeah, they are. And women too. And it's probably due to a lot of the way they were raised. I'm sure, I think of what Hannibal Lecter says, honestly, in Silence of the Lambs. It's probably truthful when he's talking about Buffalo Bill, and he said something like, he wasn't born this way. He was made this way and raised this way through years of systematic abuse. Like, I'm sure, just like people who are in prisons, they're made that way, right? They're not born that way. Just like the people, honestly, who attack us, and the hate and the disgusting spewing of toxicity, that comes from somewhere, guys. You're not just born that way, right? Like he says, you're made that way through years of systematic abuse. I'm sure that it's kind of shocking to me that as much as I came from with Scientology, any of us ex-Scientologists, to be honest, I would say every ex-Scientologist I know has a big heart. Like, it shocks me, to be honest, that we're not more hateful people, because the way we were raised. I mean, I can't say that. I don't know how the other guys were raised. I know how I was raised, and it was a pretty ugly environment with no love. There was it was all conditional love, if that at all. So I have to say, it comes from somewhere. Like, it has to come from somewhere. It's kind of a shame. I wish that, because I will never date another ex-convict like that. I hate to say that, because it's kind of, I never saw Shawshank Redemption, grateful. I feel bad to say this. Because it's not fair. But my last relationship taught me a lot of really hard lessons that, like, I will never engage with someone like that again. I just don't. Hey, true to it. I heard you read Dawn's thing today, whatever you call that. That's amazing. Um, of course she did, Lori Lee. I'm stopping myself because I feel guilty saying that. But just going through what I went through in my last relationship and learning so much from him on that side of the upbringing, and just like being a convict, and just the hard life, being an addict, right? I don't know that that's a path I would want to go down again. Yeah. Wendy Ramirez says, I always try to imagine them as little kids. I'm sure that wasn't the plan for their life. We were lucky to not have been born into a terrible situation. Absolutely. Absolutely. Very lucky. Very lucky. I would hate to have such a hard life. I feel sad and sorry for Tommy Scoville. Like, I'm not hating on him. I feel sorry for him. That and thank God he's out. But like, that is something that he had to endure, addiction, prison. But think of how many people just like him, like there's tons and tons and tons, right? And hey, Cassie, it's just a rough life, I'm sure. And I have no experience with it other than what he taught me, told me, and told all of us. And just seeing it in real time was absolutely crazy and sad, very heartbreaking to watch, that these people probably won't have much of a chance once they're out. What does society do for them when they come out, right? Like, they can't just go get any job. I don't know what kind of privileges they have. And that's rough. Like, it's already coming, you do your time, and they probably come out. And then they don't even have a lot of opportunities as a citizen like the rest of us, right? Yeah, sure, Kestrel. I get that. Just like a ton of them, I'm sure. We're all very privileged to not have been raised in an environment that led to those experiences. Absolutely, Kiki. And that's something that we take for granted every day. And that's something I'm going to add to my list when I journal about what I'm grateful about. 100%. After witnessing what I saw today, that will go on my list of things that I am very, very grateful for. Reese, have you ever seen Kevin Bacon in Murder in the First? No, never even heard of it. And some people are evil, Lori Lee. It's just how do you tell? I don't know. And honestly, I think it is best to stay away from things like that. And that's what I mean. I think it's best for me to stay away from that. But um it's wild. It was such a wild experience to see all of that, to see it before my very eyes. It was sad. It was very sad. On that note, guys, that was all I really had to say. I will be back tomorrow, probably be in the afternoon, I would say, if that's cool with you guys. Um, absolutely. I love this right here. I do too. Con or not, Tommy is a human being, and people seem to forget the humanity. No compassion, but none of us have clean hands. Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. You know, some of these people who are just attacking the shit out of me or Tommy or both, the people that they stand up for that are horrible human beings, but they, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has a past, right? Like you can't have one or the other. And I do agree with that, right? Like it's not fair. It's not right. I don't think it's right. Yes, Jackie C4. Mods, you mind posting my email? Thank you. And thanks, Yadira. And we're all human beings. And I don't think that anybody should be bullied or attacked so hardcore. I just don't. I don't think it's right. Anyway, it was sad. As much as we started this with laughter, I'm ending it with a little bit of kind of a melancholy feel because it was sad. I love you too, Buffy. It was just depressing. It was a very depressing experience. I'm glad that I got to experience it though. Yeah. Oh, for sure, Lady O. She knows that. Everybody knows that. I'm sure something will come back there. Something will have to put a stop to it at some point. All right, guys. On that note, like I said, I will be back tomorrow. Saturdays, Sundays aren't great on YouTube. So I think I'll be back tomorrow if you guys are up for it. Not everybody's up for it because people have a life on weekends. And I understand that. Love you, Mandy Albert. And guys, thank you for being with me today. Thank you for listening to this. Thank you for supporting Huxley and telling him congratulations. That meant the world to me. That was very kind. And as always, thank you for your super chats and your memberships. And love you, Peggy Collins. I love you too. Thank you, Jackie C4. That's really kind, girl. I adore you so much. You lift my spirits every day. Thank you, babe. I am too, Jessamine. I'm glad you made it. All right, everybody. Here comes Fred, and I will see you on the next stream. Hit subscribe if you want to be subscribed to this channel.